Hello everybody, and welcome to an explanation on ADSR filtering, more specifically in toxic bio and Harmour. So, ADSR filtering is known as envelopes when they're put together, because those are the four letters that make up how a sound is shaped. So you put all those letters together and just shove them in an envelope. That's probably why they called it that. I would never know because I'm not the creator of that term. That's just my assumption. But attack, decay, sustain, release. Now, these terms aren't self explanatory at first. But once you listen to them and observe how they work, especially visually, you'll see that in Harmour, makes it easier to understand. So attack, let's just play this real quick. This is Lullaby FG. I'm gonna pattern it, play it. So it sounds like a bell, but I can give it a wavy sound and give you like a couple seconds to figure out how I'm gonna do that. Now, the way I do that, so depending on the sound you're looking for, if you want a more sudden, prominent sound, you decrease attack all the way. The attack. If you want a more subtle, more smooth sound, you'd increase it. Now on toxic bio, depending on how sudden the sound is, most of the time you'd only want to go up to 203. That'd give it enough attack to be heard and enough attack to be smooth. But this song is really punchy. But you can also adjust these parameters over here: attack, decay, sustain, and release for each individual sign. That's one thing I love about Toxic, is that you can mess with the signs or the waves and create unique textures. That's its quality. Harmour has its other qualities that I really enjoy as well. Now, Decay is pretty much how long it takes for the peak of the attack to hit the sustain. And the sustain is the volume of the midpoint until it hits the end of the release, which the release is where the note is literally just released. So from there, it's all controlled by the master volume. The master volume tells it how high it can hit before it becomes just its threshold. Of course, this threshold can be modified to unethical levels or moderate levels. It all depends. It's like having an argument with someone versus casually talking to them. You don't want your music arguing with someone. It's not a good thing. Now, that pretty much explains it in toxic. Attack, decay, sustain, and release. Those are the 4 letters that you just write on your letter and send it out to your pen pal in your envelope. That's not really too much going on there. You can't really do as much here with the knobs by themselves, but you can automate them, as you can see. Create an automation clip. So having a chart isn't an option with that. So let's move to Harmour. Harmour has very similar qualities, actually a lot more if you think of it. I don't know what the limitations are with Harmour, other than the learning curve. The learning curve is very difficult. I'm not even gonna lie, it's one of the most difficult plugins they have so far, in my opinion. Just my opinion, probably, but I feel like Harmless is a lot more simple to get down. It's like literally still false advertisement because it's not harmless. It's like it's a headache to learn. It's just so much stuff going on. But once you get used to it, you start to understand what these things do. Yeah, where's the attack, decay, sustain, and release? I'll let you guys figure that out for a second. Did you figure it out? Nah, probably not. Unless you listen to the last thing I said. It's under the envelope. But you click the envelope, and what is it doing now? It's just showing you all the values of whatever's selected. So right now, pitch is selected, but we don't want pitch. Because then, if we mess with the envelope, it's going to make the note sound like... Yeah, that's not what we want. So, we got to go to volume. Then we go to envelope. But by default, it's going to look like volume and LFO. So you're going to see something like this. LFO is useful too, but just make sure you have this enabled if you want anything to take effect. So, volume, envelope. Now I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to play this Fate, oh Fate, whatever that was referencing. I don't know. I didn't make the sound. I'm making a sound, but I didn't make this original sound. So, what is really going on here? You have this bass, and then you have this electric flatulence. Yeah, I don't really know what else to call that. That's just literally what it sounds like. But because there's 2 waves going on, which is a lot less than Toxic Bio, but there's a lot more freedom here. So let's say I wanted B to be more. Oh, my bad. I gotta have this enabled. Right. Yeah, that is pretty much ADSR filtering in Harmour. But the thing that's different with Harmour is that it's not just ADSR filtering. You can also automate in the middle of ADSR filtering by right-clicking, which is crazy. I knew that you could right click and create points, but I didn't really know what was going on. But there's just so many options. You could do it with the pitch, the unison pitch, image time offset, whatever you want to do it to. Timbre, filters, and there's also a bunch of other effects up here that you could apply. This is they say frequency, but it's like a form of pitch. You could detune it right here. That pretty much explains that. They also have a portamento feature too, which is really cool. I don't like that other digital audio workstations don't have an actual slide function like FL Studio. You could just literally double click on a note and then convert it to a slide note. But they don't have that. I mean, they do have a feature like it in Ableton where you could draw the slide, but it's not as easy to use as FL. You can still use it. It's not impossible. I just don't remember how to do it. I haven't done it in so long. Now, Cubase, at least on mobile, they don't have slides. They rely on portamento. I don't know about on Cubase 14, but I wouldn't be surprised because there's certain like not really parameters, there's certain customization features that they can only incorporate into certain DAWs because they're just either copywritten or patented. I don't really know. I think patent would be the term. I think. Could be wrong. But let's basically, this song is not finished, but let's just listen to it to see what we got out of Harmour and Toxic. Sorry. Let's actually decrease that. Decrease this a little. Probably decrease this. Decrease this for sure. That's too loud. And then decrease these to about 6. -6, my bad. I'm going to decrease this to about 45. And then I might actually delay the decay on these. It's supposed to be a pad too, so it's supposed to last. Honestly, I think I should just keep it like raising. So raising basically just makes it sustain, hopefully. Nah, I see what was going on there. I see you, Harmour. So it stops at this line while you're holding it, and when you let it go, that's when it goes. Okay. Now that I made a sound for it, actually, how much of what sound do I want? Definitely not that one. I think I should increase the attack more. It's supposed to be a pad, not a wave. And that's not really the proper term for it, but it's like a subtle noise, and I guess like a synth. But synths can be punchy too, so not really gonna say that either. Yeah, it's perfect. Maybe I'll just increase it to about here. Increase this one to about there as well. So that way they're at least like the same length. Increase this curve on both. I think I'm gonna push it over one more. I want it, or two. Yeah. Just in case I want to hold it longer later. Perfect. Okay. Pretty much shows you how you can shape a sound in Harmour. It's not as free in Toxic, but you still have a lot of options in Toxic. I don't know how to work the modulation matrix, which is right here, I believe. It's master pitch modulation. Where's the matrix? Wait, I think it tells me in the hint panel. Yeah, I don't know how to work these. Any of them. It's just not my specialty yet. I'll figure it out. One thing I do know is that I think that about concludes this video, but oh yeah, I forgot to mention, you could literally change the waves here, or you can click custom and then just pick a wave, but you can't really see it. So, oh geez. I think that was sign 2, so I'm just gonna put it as sign 2. Sorry, that was like a little... It sounded good in some parts. I guess it's like randomized the way it like shifts. I'm still trying to figure out what's causing that. I think it's the harm, to be honest. Fatal Fate. Let me just turn this down and see how it sounds. Sorry, I kind of want a little variety. Well, that pretty much sums up the video and the demonstration. So, hope you guys found it useful. Hope you guys learned something. And hope it wasn't a waste of your time. You guys have a good day. Thanks for tuning in, and peace.